All right, we're gonna go. Hey, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is another health talk, and we're talking about quality of life. We're talking about you making the choices, creating the habits, doing things to get out of your comfort zone so you can just live better. This isn't even our stuff. This is just stuff that is given to us, and we are but a mere vessel. We're just preaching the health here. It's really good stuff. It's really good to implement into your life, your family's life, your friends, your coworkers, your business, your company. It's all that. All that, all that, all that. Let us see as we're getting set up. All right, perfect. Everything looks to be working. All right, I know there's a bit of a delay. Let's see. Let's see if that. Okay. All right, all right. Was having some technical difficulties. I think it's cleared up. Let's see. What's up, my man? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, the man with the plan, man. I can hear you.
Perfect. All right, hey man, how you going?
Oh man, it's healthy. It's healthy. Everything's smooth, man. How about yourself?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. Always in that mood you see me in, man. It's not a facade, man. This is me every day.
It's the facade. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think like it's something that I'm trying to portray, but really it's just my life. I've had folks that get upset and like, how are you like this every day? I'm like, hey, it's the food.
Yeah, for sure. That's how.
But I had something for you today.
That's the major part.
I had something for you today. I'm curious, and maybe somebody after we record this and talk about it, maybe they'll talk about their experiences. But workplace wellness, man. I'm curious to know your take on workplace wellness and what was provided to you. What did the culture seem like? What was the vibe? You know, speak on like any job or place that you work for. What did that look like?
Workplace wellness, as far as like from a nutritional standpoint, or just
so what I mean by workplace wellness, I'm talking like any initiative that the business or company that you worked for that they did for y'all that helped you to feel well, that helped you think like, okay, this place isn't bad, I'll come back. Or, you know, I really don't feel all that well, but I'm gonna go ahead and go. You know, like what was there anything, if any, like for an example, like was there any like workshop, education, health fair, any type of resource other than the benefits or the workers' comp?
When I was working at this hospital one time, they had like a wellness like workshop type of thing. It was just like surface based, but it wasn't. Other than that, yeah, no, not really. Those jobs just keep you there. And, you know, whatever you provide to them, cool. Whatever you don't provide to them, that's cool as well. But as far as wellness in general, no, that's standing out, non-existent. How about yourself?
Okay. Well, I mean, there's been attempts. I can highlight at one school that I taught at, they had a Wellness Wednesday. I think that was like every second or third Wednesday. It was just one day out the month where they would basically let you go earlier than you really would, get what you need done, no questions asked. It was an early release for the kids and y'all got off. And there were a bunch of like online events. But as far as like stuff around the building, you know, just being a teacher, there was a big bowl of like ultra processed food, teacher's lounge, you know, a whole bunch of, you know, stacked up with snacks and pizza and all that stuff. And I was just curious, you know, what you have experienced because I know people get tired of listening to me. But I will say that there, which I think what we both were trying to get at was the intention was there, but as far as like the follow through on keeping people healthy and well and like decreasing burnout, like increasing alliance, wasn't there.
Yeah. No, they don't get tired of you, by the way. A lot of times when it comes to information, people be kind of, they kind of be in a stuck place because you might be disrupting their reality for the moment. So it's like, hold on, man, just give me some time. I'm gonna get around to it. But like normally at jobs, from what I've seen, even like during the pandemic, jobs usually don't care about your mental and emotional health. It's just like you damn near just here just to do the job. You do it, cool. If you don't, and especially if you don't do it consistently, they get rid of you. Even like I was working at the hospital, and I used to work in the kitchen, and it just used to be mind-boggling because now I'm actually thinking about it. It was the same thing. It was like ultra-processed items all the time. And even to make the recipes. So basically, as a dietitian, as a nutritionist downstairs, so being a chef, you make up the recipes, you give to the dietitian, nutritionist, and they give you a go or a no. And then it's just like where's the real overall? We trying to help people in the long run. And it's not, what I found though is people don't think that it's believable, like that most people would do it. They're like, you can put the information out there, but the people, they might not do it, which is true, which is definitely true. But then what I seen during the pandemic, people got scared into being into the house, or scared into not being in contact with people, right, or just scared into being per se healthier because they had people that was drinking bleach and like in fishbowl, I think it was a cleaner or something. And they were
drinking, eating the little pods too.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm like, damn, y'all want to not. So I was like, Leo, bruh, like even during that time, I was just like people down there were saying I was like beefing and kind of like minimizing the COVID, which I wasn't. But I was like, y'all do know it's this thing called cardiovascular disease that's been like the number one cause of death since like 1921 for like 100 years. And you can look up the statistics. And so for 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, cardiovascular disease was taking more lives. So I'm like, damn, y'all worry about this pandemic. It's a whole nother pandemic that y'all not even conscious of, and so it gets like a little spooky because people feel like if they in the power, the vast majority of people won't see it. But what I've seen is people can get scared to be healthy.
100%. You're getting to that point because let's look at it from something simpler. Maybe it may not be simple, but help me out here. So think about a sports team. I'm not going to use basketball because I want to use the more players on the team. You look at the most successful programs, right? You got 11 people on the field. And then, of course, you got your depth, right? You look at their eating programs because okay, everybody needs to do their part, so everybody may not show up. But what's important is that folks are coming in, practice, lifting weights, team meetings, strategy, stuff like that. Because everybody may not get in, but you have trained up your team. So if somebody gets an injury, okay, boom, sub, we got you. Or if somebody, gets, somebody gets traded, boom, we got somebody right here. We're trying to get them up. And so when it comes to employer, I do see that misconception of, we already have given them the resources. If they don't use it, whatever, right? But that right there is kind of like a missing piece because everybody's working. Okay, everybody has something that they have to do to make ends meet, take care of themselves, right? So if employers or HR can look at it from a sense of, hey, let's get this fluff out. Okay, we need to stop doing this, stop padding the sheet, and we get to the root cause. Because if I ultimately have somebody that is healthier in a better mind state, they're going to perform better. There's going to be better culture. There's going to be better collaboration. And they can swear up and down that it's easy, but it's not. Because hiring somebody, it's a whole process. You got to hire somebody new. You let somebody go. You know, it's the same thing with tenants and stuff. It takes a lot for somebody to evict somebody, like, you know? And so that's kind of what I wanted to touch on today is, you know, what would you do if you were to bring like a program in to a company, you know, said company? You could say, you know, like your grocery store or, you know, whatever, your big financial building or even FedEx, right? They got simple stuff there, right? And we're going to give you benefits. You got benefits. That's everybody's looking for. Okay. But that's just like checkups and then like emergency based. What about the wellness? You know, do folks get any type of seminar, any type of anything? You get what I'm saying? What would that look like if you were to come into a company place? Let's say we're going to start where we feel like it's needed. So let's say Walmart. We were to go to Walmart and be like, hey, we're going to first start off with a talk. So we're giving a speech, probably like a 30-minute speech, and we go into Walmart. What would you talk about to employees? Because you truly only got about 10 minutes, let's be honest. You got 30 minutes in front of these people. What would you say to get them like hooked on, hey, the choices that you're making is ultimately getting in the way of your performance, which ultimately is getting in the way of your livelihood? What would you say to them?
Yeah. So I would actually, you be asking, hey, one thing about you, you ask 3 or 4 questions.
I need to start taking notes, man.
That's my boy.
I need to start putting notes.
You asking some questions, like you be boom, boom, boom. But I'll be like, dang, I gotta, you know. So you said I had 30 minutes or I had 10 minutes?
So you got 30 minutes. You really got 10 because I'm thinking and talking about attention span. You got somebody that is in a meeting and they don't see the meaning behind this meeting. So you really got 10 minutes, 5 if you're lucky with some.
Yeah, you damn near actually got 5 minutes. It might be a good, that's a stretch. It really be like 3 minutes, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? But no, but normally if I'm doing like a lecture or a seminar, like I ask, I just like, who got to stop watching on their phone, and then you know, everybody got to stop watching on their phone typically. So then what happens is I'm like, all right, I need you to stop it at 33 seconds, and then I need you to stop it at 40 seconds, right? So like, no matter what I'm saying, just tell me to stop at 33 seconds and at 40 seconds. So I'm just giving my introduction and just literally telling people, like, you may not be believing that you are what you consume, but you really is, and you can put it to the test. How can you end up putting this to the test? By doing it every single day. And the more that you do it every single day, I promise you, God gonna make a way, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then it gets to 33 seconds, and they're gonna say stop. And then that's when I say, damn, somebody just died from cardiovascular disease. And then everybody, what? But they started looking around like, what you mean somebody just died? And then I say, every 33 seconds, someone is dying from cardiovascular disease. So we have to protect our hearts. And by the time I say that, That's like 7 seconds. Boom. Then they gonna say stop. And I'm like, dang, somebody just had a heart attack and stroke. Every 40 seconds or 7 seconds after 33 seconds, someone is having a stroke or heart attack. So now people looking like, damn, what do you mean? Like, in their mind, they're like, damn, I didn't know it happened that. And then I can go into so with your wellness, you have to make sure, and these are the items that's going to decrease the risk of having a stroke or a heart attack, or just reducing the risk of overall cardiovascular disease. These is some, and then even just talking about the items, and then just go to like 30-minute recipes, right? Mm-hmm. And so y'all might be saying, what does this have to do with me? Because what you are eating or in drinking is putting you in the grave or keeping you out of one. So to Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Because you can actually test every single thing out, and you can do this for a week. I'll usually say like 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. Just do something better every single day, and I promise you, you're going to start to notice a difference. And normally, what happens is people be like, "Man, whatever," or you can just do a challenge. You know, like whoever lose the most weight, y'all get $100 or something, and then just give them the simple recipes. And people love money. Mm-hmm. Right? In the process of them loving money and trying to eat better, they're going to start to feel better. And some people will be like, dang, this is a lifestyle that I need to just keep on sticking with because I feel better. And some people just doing it for the money. But just the fact that when they're experiencing it, they have a way more different outlook than somebody just saying something.
100%. I like that.
And, and if you can talk to corporate as well, just hopefully they can donate some frozen fruit, and then I tell them like, hey, a smoothie is your daily recommended allowance of fruit per se. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just do smoothies every single day.
There you go.
Right, if they donate.
Then we start, which it might be above the pay grade of the contract, but then you can really start, picking apart the building. You touched on something good. Keep going.
Yeah, definitely. So, and then even with that though, is it's crazy. After my 40 seconds, then I have another conversation, and then it just be about like being healthy or nourishing is expensive, right? That's not a real thing, right? It's just not a priority to people.
Correct.
But once things become a priority, people is no expense. Like nobody is never saying, "Dang, how I'm gonna smoke a cigarette today." Or smoke some weed, or sniff coke, or crack, or sip lean, or do Percocets, or buy some designer clothes or some shoes, or people have the money to behoove you.
It would behoove you, because a lot of these things are bought, and it's like they're bought or purchased in some kind of way, and it's well above a person's means of living. That means people don't have it, but somehow they're getting it. They're getting the shoes. They're getting the drugs. They got the car. They found a way to get the car, and which that's a whole nother conversation. Keep going. It's golden.
Yeah, definitely. So people, they gonna make a way for it, and then it's like. And then and also too, people be overly sexual too. So I'll be, kind of like another conversation that be having, but just like guys, if you start to eat better, you have a better erection. Ladies, if you start to eat better, you have a better orgasm, or you will finally orgasm. Like, what do you mean? And then you can jump into the science in different pockets. And
that usually gets people, and there's science behind that. The reproductive system is really like the warning sign, because people will feel that, they'll feel it in their reproductive system. And it's really like the last sign. Like problems have already been there, and now people are experiencing issues there, whether it's pleasure, whether it's mechanical, right? And then they really start wanting to make a change when that happens, but it shouldn't have to take, that happening for them to turn it around, which very, very, very good points.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it shouldn't, but people honestly, people don't, they know, but I don't think people really be knowing. Like, will you just come to your overall body, or do you just spend your whole life not seeking out no nutritional or exercising type of, or even stress management type of information? People just go their whole life just freestyling. And they just think no matter what I do, because God made this body, is not it's not inconstructible. Like, you can destroy it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it just takes so long for the abuse and misuse of the body to actually occur in their mind that they start to blame it on genetics. Yeah. So once you get to
keep going, you're firing me up.
Yeah, so it is like, no, bro, it's like what you're doing. That's why I always say, like, you literally can put it to the test, because anybody can say anything to you.
100%.
Anybody. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, look, if you do this consistently, you will be okay. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, depending on how much I got paid for the gig, I'll be all right. If we at Walmart, for example, like, we gotta go back here, we gotta get all like the frozen mixed berries, for example. Let's just get the frozen mixed berries. Boom. If it's 10 people, so it's like it's 8 cups in there. It might be 10 cups. I don't know. I gotta look. It's like 8 cups up in there. Mm-hmm. So this gonna be a week of smoothies. So each person need like 3 of these bags, for example, right? Mm-hmm. So then the people test this out every day for 21 days, right? And then they can come in and tell us how they feel. And then if they, especially they got insurance, they got some type of insurance, they can get like a blood test. It's not like a full, like just 21 days. You're not about to get like a whole, oh, my body is changing all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. But you're going to see like measurable points. Like in your blood work, just in 21 days.
You sure will. You'll see changes in the sugar. You'll see changes in micros. You'll definitely see that.
Say it again?
I said you'll see changes in the sugar. You'll see changes in the micros.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I was only saying like major changes when it comes to, because somebody might watch this video and they might clip this part and they might be saying, well, yeah, you get your A1Cs in like 3 months or something like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm just saying it's you know, it's like levels to health. But yeah, you would definitely see changes like in your sugars, like your biome, like your blood pressure, like just with consistency. And all a person got to do is just stay with it. And if you stay with it for 21 days, then you go to 28, 35, 42, etc., then you'll really start to know, it'll be very noticeable.
100%.
But, you know, a person got to be willing to put that time in. You know, like that's like a main thing, you know. And it's good time, too, whenever you invest in your health.
100%. Just that exploration and finding yourself, and that will change everything. And it's, you take this time for yourself, and it helps in so many different ways, right? So you just gave that powerful speech, right? Let's say 10 people out of 30 in the room actually took the advice. Now they're floating. They are floating 100%, and everybody else that didn't do it, it's like, okay, 5 more people may do it, but it also helps in group too. So the community is going to come. It's going to come for when people are seeing it work in real action, like real time. And I wish there was like a magic phrase or word that we could say that would just snap and just get people to just go for it. Because that's what they want. That's what they want. They want security in their work, right? Not even knowing that their job depends on their health. Like I'm coming in here and I'm talking like that. Your job and well-being, you know, unless your employer is a little sketchy, right? I'm talking about the normal place. Your job depends on your health. Your performance depends on your health, right? Because how are you going to work a 40-plus hour work week with all these tasks and all these responsibilities, and your energy level is that of a adolescent? You know, how are you going to get this work done if your core muscles are weak? You know, how are you going to get this work done if you have constant brain fog? You have a migraine because you're dehydrated. You know, you can't move your mouse, or you can't write and do the documents needed because you have arthritis, and you have inflammation in your ankles, so you can't get stuff done. It all ties in. And you said something about genetics, not an excuse. Because when you think about genetics and what they are, somebody before you had actions, these actions are in a little script that got to you. That's literally, it's all about actions. So that was beautifully said, man. Beautifully said. So
yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
That was beautifully said. 30 minutes, boom, workshop. Some people do it, some people don't. Boom. We want you back. Okay. And now, just from that right there, just from that speech, I'm sure you literally do the same stuff, like reiterate the same stuff that you talked about in that speech, but just so people can understand it. And really, it's just guidance over and over, right?
Yeah, for sure. We also usually have like some, I have like some sugar cubes or like some candy or something. I don't really understand.
Okay, I think I know what you're getting at. I think he's going to go get some sugar cubes to kind of demonstrate the sugar that's in food. I don't know. I could be wrong, but let's see.
Yeah, for sure. So I have some, but I don't even know if the candy is anything. Okay, perfect. Right. So I have like this. So somebody read this. This is like a mini one, but if it was a full version, but so the full version got like 28 grams. So I asked somebody like, how much sugar does the average person consume like in a year or something? And then they give me a number, right? Mm-hmm. And then I'll be like, like the average person can consume like 20 pounds of sugar. And they're like, what do you mean 20 pounds? So then I lost the can. Oh yeah. So but basically what I'll be saying is like, so if you consume this for 16 days, this would be a pound of sugar or 16 bags of this, right? Mm-hmm. And then you keep going and you keep going and you keep going just from consuming one of these a day for a year. That's like, go to the head. That's probably like almost 10 pounds of sugar.
Yeah, that's in the lunchbox.
Something like this.
In the lunchbox, that's on the table. That's in the bowl at home, at work. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting to think about, right? So you have that added sugar that's just going to work on somebody's body. Inflammation. Because our body makes the sugar already. And so when you add in that extra sugar, okay, now we got an issue. And I don't think people are understanding that.
Yeah, no, of course not. I'm telling you, man, they don't understand, man, the physiology. And the anatomy, like, they don't, like, what I be saying, people need, like, every single grade, like, damn near at every job, like, in colleges, like, people really don't understand. They be having, like, low-grade chronic inflammation all the time, just from what they eat. And then how they be stressing. And then even on top of that, if somebody was like, you know what, I want to have a Snickers or something. Let's just say they wanted to have a Snickers. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't be eating the Snickers and just sitting down.
Yeah, and that's what most will do because they have to get back to work or they have to, or they're in a rush.
Yeah, for sure. So it's like, I need some energy. And it's like, you're not even actually getting the real energy. So it's like, people will eat like a linebacker and then just sit down all day.
Yeah. Not even knowing that you just signed your body up for basically what bears do, basically what nocturnal animals do. You have switched the switch on your body to say, oh, okay, we're not doing anything. I was really going to use this as a quick energy source. We're not doing anything. Let me go ahead and store it. Okay, I'm going to store it. I'm going to store it as fat. That way we can use it later, right? And then folks, they get into this whole thing of, I'm on a no-fat, low-fat diet. And it's, you look in at that little candy bar, right? Now that candy bar has hydrogenated oils and it has trans fats in it, right? So not only are they getting that sugar, but now they're getting these fats that are so damaging and that are adding to the issue, and it's messing up all this stuff, all because it was a quick fix and now they're addicted to it, and they didn't want to look elsewhere, or it was too much time, or they were just simply uninformed. And so you say it well, man. You say it every time. You must think very hard before you consume something.
Yeah, for sure.
If we treated it like it was fuel, different story. Go ahead.
It's like everything should have a purpose. Like before we consume something, we need to be like, what is the purpose? Like, what is the purpose of this? What is like the nutritional value of this? Mm-hmm. Like, is it giving me life or death? Is it positive or negative? Is it a toxin or like a nourishment? So it's like, if people, not necessarily you, but if a person just did that more on a daily basis, they'd make better choices.
100%.
And then even if they just knew what was going on, because like what happens is when people come through and then they give like nuances of information, people run with it. Like people,
100%. They take that.
Say it again?
I said they take it and they run with it 100%. They're like, this is what I heard, and there's no way.
Yeah,
this is correct.
Yeah, they be like, Leo, we gotta. It's like funny. It's kind of crazy when I be sitting and thinking about people be doing it. But then come out the blue, like, Leo, we gotta stop drinking the water because the water dehydrates us. Leo is pulling all the minerals out the body. And I just like, what are you talking about? And then I'm like, maybe it's on something. Like maybe they is on something. You know what I'm saying? And I always ask everybody. I talked about this the first time. Mm-hmm. And then I ask people, like, do you know what shortfall nutrients is? And they like, no, what is that? From the moment they say that, I'm 99% sure where they got that from, and they just running with whatever words that sound good. So it's like, we have to have basic understanding. And the shortfall nutrients is shortfalls of nutrients that most people don't get in on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. So if they're barely consuming the proper amounts of like the vitamins and mineral elements per se, of course drinking water gonna flush it out, but people be 90% off, and sometimes 95% off, 98. We were just talking about potassium. Yeah. Not getting your daily recommended allowance. So it's like, if you consuming something,
wow,
it might flush out it because you barely get them in the first place. But if you was eating more whole foods, the chances of you flushing them all out the body, like it's somewhere else. But it's like people, like they don't really want to stay in the library a long time. That's why I call it like you need to, like when I hear people, I can understand, like I'll be like, okay, dang, he been in the library, or they ain't been in the library long enough, or that's not even how that is. So it's like, if a person don't have a certain level of information, they can be more miseducated or more uneducated on the subject.
Yeah, 100%. Because a lot of people, if they feel that they have things to shoot back with, or they can kind of regurgitate it, we feel smart. But that's how the school system makes people feel adequate. Like, you get a 100 on this test because you're able to memorize all these things. It was no short answer on that test. It was all multiple choice. You get a 100. See, I'm smart. Look at me. But There needs to be more short answer, like explain why you're doing this. Explain why you woke up in the middle of the night. You are not hungry. You know you're not hungry. Okay? You're going to the bathroom, but you pass right past the cookie jar. Or you pass right past the snack. So you just go ahead and eat some. Your body is not hungry. Right? Explain why you did that. Or explain why you're eating right now. Because just because you're watching TV doesn't mean you got to eat something. Like explain if you're not, hungry, like why are you eating? Or, stuff like that. And it behooves me because we're not talking about anything crazy. You can take all these videos, cross-reference them, boom, you get your whole list of stuff that's already there, that's well researched. And then there's a lot of people that will argue against it and say, well, this concept isn't well researched. So then we get into the self-anecdotal stuff where people will tell you, honey, it hasn't been researched, or apples haven't been researched in their qualities, or certain fruits and vegetables, they hadn't been researched enough. So for that reason, we can't, say that they're healthy or say that they help us in any way. And I'm like, this is the last thing I want to say. Where does the protein get its protein from? That's how I want to end it. 100%, just full circle. The reasoning behind every talk I have, the food chain, food cycle. Where does the protein get its protein from?
Yeah. That's a good one. People actually really need this people really need to stop having that conversation. Like, people are not out here dying or suffering from protein deficiency. It's not the case. It's not even maybe 2%. We might stretch it to say even 5% or something like that if you homeless, or 10%. But that shouldn't even be the talks. The talk should be, dang, am I deficient on the mineral elements and vitamins? Or am I getting fiber in?
They're getting the micros, a surplus of them. They're getting a surplus of the micros, right? You get that 3 times. But as far as vitamins and things like that, it's like, because there's so much confusion, there's so much dieting. I needed to look into that real quick about the food chain. When folks learned about the food chain and food webs. What grade was that?
I don't know, probably 3rd grade, 4th grade. But even with that, it's not like a lot of time spent on it. And that's
it's not. It's real quick. So about 2nd, 3rd grade, right? That is what I feel like. That is a foundation, because we're not looking at it, and this is as a world, right? So when you start bringing in technology where you should, I'm going to talk about how they plant things and how they, they're taking up all the nutrients out of the soil and stuff like that, which we got to talk about organic versus non-organic. That's going to be a talk for another time. But people are kind of failing to realize where we're getting all this from, where it started with, because not all beings are carnivorous, right? Something eats something else, right? But it all started with the vegetation, with the plants, 100%. I would venture to say we didn't start having these issues until we started tethering with the plants. We started trying to get more out of it and started modifying things because we didn't want to let nature do what it was intended to do, which is survive and thrive. We started spraying. We started pulling nutrients out of the ground and and doing things that weren't in the Bible as far as farming and replication.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, now we got issue. We have stripped this cereal. See, I'm just rambling now. Do you know about Kellogg?
Say it again.
Do you know about Kellogg?
What about it?
Well, in short, just a quick story on the cereal. You know how they modify the wheat or the grains? They legally have to put things back into it because it's been stripped down and it's nutrient-less, right? And basically just crazy story on Kellogg. Kellogg has some crazy views. I want that to be like what you look into, because you might go on a rabbit hole and you might get fired up about that one. But basically, the cereals and stuff like that and all these snacks, they're just experiments, man. When we start getting away from what, and we got to have a conversation about ultra processed versus processed too. I'm yapping now. It's just a lot of interesting stuff.
For sure. No, what I did notice though, I was like looking at the cereal one day, and I was like, all the Kellogg's brands, like towards the bottom of the ingredients, it says it contains bioengineered ingredients. Like all these cereals, yeah, this is something else.
Yeah, like all they got that little badge and they have to put it on there now. They cannot get away with it, right? So you're looking at something that is modified like that. What do you think it's doing to you? And I wanted to respond to somebody real quick.
Yeah, and that'd be the thing too, because it's like people don't. I mean, I'm bad to cut you off. Go ahead.
Someone said, I think the bigger issue is that even if you want to buy the organic stuff, it's too expensive. And a lot of the stuff that's cheap has preservatives and people are forced to buy it.
Yeah. So really, it actually boils down to if it's like a priority,
I think it has to do with
nobody is smoking weed saying, "Bro, I'm not about to get high today."
Yeah, no, 100%. They find a way.
High. I'm not about to get drunk. Damn, new shoes over there cost too much. I'm not about to get them. That's not the case.
I'm not. The verbiage is. I need to find a way.
Even touch on the just the produce being organic or or commercial. The science should actually be, or the focus should be on getting people to consume produce in the first place, because 80 to 90% of people are not consuming enough produce in the first place.
They're not having any type of produce, and there's people fighting on fiber and stuff like that. And I get tired of talking about these different diets, but I really just want to hone it in and talk about the carnivore diet, because a lot of people will say, I feel so great. I feel better than I've ever felt in my life. And, they'll say that too when they go, pescatarian too. And I'm like, hey, you know what you stop doing? You stop eating those ultra processed foods. Right, you really honed in and you focused and you were disciplined. I'm not saying that you were disciplined in the right way, but you were disciplined to say, hey, I'm going to stop eating that stuff. I'm going to focus in and I'm going to eat this. Boom, 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 boom. So I think one can take the discipline out of it and just put it into what they eat. Boom. Now you don't have something wacky where folks aren't getting, because just imagine this. You're eating from a carnivorous animal who eats from other animals who are only eating meat, right? There needs to be something in there that gets the greens in the food chain. It has to be, right? So say you're eating something that's malnourished. Do you think they're getting all the nutrients that they should be getting?
No, of course not.
Yeah, so there's levels to it, and it's not me. I'm not trying to knock what anybody's doing. Like if you are getting healthier and you're putting away bad habits, I'm all for you. But you have to realize that plants have a place. That's in your stomach, in your house, in your garden, all around. It's the reason why they keep coming back. They keep growing. They were meant to be here. And
100%. Maybe. Like humans, we just get very, just in the bigger sense, like we just be getting disconnected from like God and how things supposed to be, like nature. Like we be so disconnected that even when you see somebody, they might be walking barefoot on the grass, is weird to people.
Yeah, it's weird. And I'm like, those shoes are weird.
Yeah, so it's like, even like I've seen it before, like it's a lemon, people got lemon trees in their neighborhoods, right? In Arizona, right? Or they might got an apple tree, whatever they got. They'll walk past the trees and go in the stores and buy the produce that just came off the trees. Well, they're right there.
Weird. And do you know, let me tell you something. Do you know that it's illegal in Texas for you to give away your fruit for free? Folks just can't come and pick it. And if you are close to a public entity, you got to make sure that all your produce is picked up. What?
Yeah, no, I didn't know it was illegal.
Yeah. Because, as I'm planting seeds and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to feed as many people as I can, I'm like, okay, what can I do? What can't I do? Okay, so of course, in a few years, I'm going to find a work around that. But no, you just can't give people free food. Weird. I think it's within city limits, but that whole thing, it connects you. When you're able to grow your food or at least see how it's grown, it changes everything. And granted, you're still going to have some things that were, processed and stuff like that, but it's doing the most good for your body. Like nobody's perfect.
Yeah, 100%.
I respect those who can, show their lineup, show their plate, and see like, hey, this is what I got. It's all natural, but I added a little something on top, right? Because you're not trying to lose all your joy. You're not. You're trying to improve your quality of life, and that looks like eating better, having better habits to where you can live the way you want to live, because that's not a life, man. That's not a life if you hear people say, well, I'm just getting old and, it runs in my family. And, well, it happened to my dad, happened to my mom at this age. So, I'm just I didn't really get a chance to talk to my doctor. He gave me about 10 minutes and he told me I can't eat fruit because it has too much sugar. And I saw this dude. I saw this dude on YouTube and he was talking about I just shouldn't drink water. So I stopped drinking water. And, I feel a little lightheaded making this video right now, but it just feels right to me. It's just a whole bunch of just weirdness. We're not trying to form this cult. We're just trying to get people to understand that their choices matter and they have more power than they think. They got way more power than they think.
Yeah, 100%. I told you, man, it's crazy.
Imagine. Well, it takes people like me to and you to come in and say, hey, you know what? I challenge you. We've been doing good this quarter, and they're going to call us in to that employee office. They're going to have a bowl of candy, and they're going to have donuts. Nobody touch it. I challenge you. How many days can you bring your lunch to work? I challenge you. You know what? Monday, Tuesday, I'm going to cook for you and share it with your family. Wednesday, Thursday, y'all are going to do that for us. And then Friday, we're going to have a potluck. Like that's the type of community that it takes. People just aren't willing to do it. But it's always been team. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
it's always been team. When have you seen somebody do something other than biblical figures? When have you seen somebody do something truly 100% by themselves without the help of somebody else?
Yeah, nobody. Especially because people are herd. We like herd community type. So it's like you to be the lone wolf, you got to be in a different type of place. So that's why most people, they only operate based off a crowd. So whatever is at the family gathering or the family recipe, typically people eat that until the end of the day. So it's like you got to be that person to come in and be like, dang, try these different ways of eating and drinking. And that's why I stand on testing things out. Because if you test stuff out, there's no way you can't deny it. Like, dang, I'm losing weight. You can't deny that. My blood pressure going down, or the blood sugars, the triglycerides, the cholesterol. Dang, man, I'm waking up, man, I got a wound. Or a woman like, dang, you know what, Leo? I was talking crazy to you on social media, but I tried some of the stuff that you were saying. And oh my gosh, my menstrual cycle or my PMS is so much better. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Well, hold on.
I'm only saying that because that stuff really be happening. People try to cuss me out and cut back. And I'm like, what are you gonna make a public apology? Just go and hitbox me, right? Or see me in person.
Well, hold on. I mean, hold on. That sounds good and all, but I'm gonna need to check that with my doctor, man. Before we move forward, I'm gonna check that. I need to check.
And I'll be open, and that'll be the thing too. People need to really, if people knew, if the general public knew more about just like the nutrition, anatomy, physiology, or a little bit genetics, epigenetics, and stuff like that, they just knew about like the first three, just nutrition, anatomy, and physiology, they have a better conversation with their doctor.
100%.
Or whoever is in the healthcare field, because they'd be like, all right, look, this is what's going on. And
I haven't been eating this. I've been eating this. I'm having this sensation, this feeling, but the way I see it is you become more of a self-advocate. That's game over. You take more control of your life, because a lot of people are a slave to their stomach.
Yeah, 100%.
The stomach says eat. They're saying how much. Right? And then the products are saying, oh, we got you. We got you. We knew that you would come in here and eat this low fat product, or we knew that you would come in here and eat this no sugar product. But joke's on you. There's still sugar in here, but this is an even more disruptive sugar, right? Because this lab sugar right here, it says 0 sugar, but we're definitely gonna get you, because you do you know the aspartame, sucralose, what's another one? I'm thinking? What is it? Maltodextrin, high fructose corn syrup. Dude, those things are 200 to 300 times sweeter than regular sugar. And 3 to 4 times more disruptive than sugar. It's okay. We're going to get better. We're going to get better.
Yeah, that's why I mean, hey, the educated people, they're going to profit. Because the average person don't know. Like, that's literally my rule. If it say no something, that's damn near, you got to look at the ingredients for sure.
You got to immediately flip it over. Man, you brought up a good point.
Yeah, you got to, before you even do any more, it said no sugar. No, flip that around. You're going to see 5 different forms of artificial sugar up in there. And they're like, yeah, it got 0 calories, and then and when you look it up, like even like maltodextrin that you were just saying, that has a higher glycemic load and index than table sugar.
It's going to spike it up just like that. And it's like, hey, I've been eating healthy. I've been eating all these packaged things. I'm in the healthy aisle on the line. I'm eating all these snacks. I'm eating better. What gives? You know what? I'm just going to go back to my old ways, because I tried everything. It kind of is what it is. YOLO, right? I'm just going to, life is too short for me to Don't go there, Eric. Don't go there. This apple right here, man. That's all the label you need. It's gonna tell you the name. It's gonna give you the SKU. It's gonna tell you where it came from, right? And a lot of people, there's so much information in that. That's all you need. Now, obviously, there's gonna be some products, and I'm gonna use it. This is an example right here. These are the products. I call them food products because you've already processed them, but these are good ones, right? You got granola with the ingredients that you know the ingredients in it. Mixes that have the names on it. Like maybe you got a seasoning mix. Boom, you know that this is ground up bay leaves. You know that this is dried rosemary. Okay, let's flip it over. You know that brand Siete? Okay, they make chips. I think like 3 or 4 ingredients. Fried in avocado oil. Healthy swap. Right? But then the devil's advocate is like, okay, well, they're frying in this oil. How many times are they using that oil? Right? Do they have that on the, you can get in the rabbit hole, but I'm using that as an example for 3 healthy swaps that you can make that are way better than, that stuff that's made in a factory. Like if it was made by human hands, yeah, it might be pretty good for you. But if it's mass produced and you don't see like a family who came up with the recipe, you might need to pass. You might need to pass because if somebody didn't come up with this in their kitchen and you don't know what's everything on the back of the label, which I'm going to use Siete, that's a good example for me. You might just want to pass.
Yeah.
Because just on the back of that Twix, I'm sure you could turn it around and show everybody like, hey, tell me what this is. And then it gets quiet. They're like, well, I don't know what that is. But I bet you wouldn't put some foreign gas in your car. I bet you wouldn't put a foreign liquid of gas in your car or the wrong number in your car. Why are you doing it to the body? And then we talk about oils and stuff like that. People will fry up bacon, right? Where are they putting that oil at? They're not putting it down the sink.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're not putting it down the sink. If it's going to clog the sink, what do you think it's going to do to you? Right? But you will see these meat sections stacked and packed up with meat, right? Looking like how it's looking like. As you and I both know, it's supposed to go bad, right? So they got a date on it, just like this apple that I showed you. It's supposed to go bad. It's supposed to shrivel up. That's life. There's a whole convenience factor in it. I need to stop yapping, man. You're supposed to tell me stop it.
No, I'm listening.
Yes. Closing notes, man. What's your closing note?
He was a wild guy. So E for structure, like E for longevity. Like somebody inboxed me and they was like, "Hey man, I see the gray in your beard, right?" And they was like, "There's only one gray here." And I was like, you know what's crazy about that? The older a person gets, the healthier they supposed to get. Right? Like when you rise in age, your nutrition supposed to go up. It doesn't supposed to stay the same. Because if like your age is going like this and your nutrition is constantly going down, like you're gonna meet an early demise. But so eat more colors every day. Like that's my eat more colors every day. Walk prior to a meal and especially after a meal. Because it helps with digestion in general, nutrient absorption, circulation, blood sugar, blood pressure. Drink more water throughout the day. Start your day off with 16 ounces, or it might be herbal tea, whichever one you want to do. And then every 2 hours after that, get some in. Be very mindful on if a person is stressing you out, or if you don't know how to control your stress. Like I was telling my partner, most people don't eat/drink healthy enough to be stressing. 100%. And the reason why I say that is because the cortisol, it depletes nutrients out of the body. And if you are already not consuming the nutrients, you stressing yourself out is really bad business. So, but yeah, just eat more colors, drink water throughout the day, exercise, especially before walking, before and after eating. And then, just get in tune with nature.
Yes, sir. I love it. 100%. Nicely said.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, man, I appreciate you. Hope you have a good week. Happy February.
Definitely, yeah. February. Hey, listen, we 32 days in. No, we just 33. Yeah, 33 days into the new year already.
Yep. What are you doing? Not like you, but like this is me talking. What are you doing? How are you making this year better? Because I saw your post. I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about you. I saw your post. You talk about you want to do better. There's a new year. What are you doing?
Yeah, for sure.
What action steps are you taking? But yeah, man, I appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing. I really appreciate what you do for everybody. Keep it up.
Yeah, same here.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you take that, bro.
Hey, you have a good one.
All right, you too.
All right, so we are done with that health talk. That was great. Longer than I thought, but I just get so passionate about this health, and I hope you see that too. And I hope we struck a chord. I hope that we discussed something that made you feel like, I don't, right? Because if you're in that space and it's uncomfortable, now you have an opportunity to do something, okay? For one, you can make a change, or you can really start thinking about it, okay? Because it's not supposed to be easy. Transition is not supposed to be easy. Making choices that will benefit you for the rest of your life is not supposed to be easy, okay? There's supposed to be a little traction, okay? That's how you know you're in the right spot. If you're really thinking about it and you're really putting in just research and thought, like, should I really do this? The answer is yes. If you had to do all that, oh yeah. And it's going to be so worth it. So I appreciate you all for watching. Have a good day. Have a good week. And we're done.